Hello again, it's Cliff going on about shit. Well, it's not really shit, it's important to me anyway. Um, I am religious, I'm a Catholic, and it says God forgives people for even bad stuff, but it's also important that we forgive other people because if we do something bad in our lives, we want God, Jesus, whatever, to forgive us. We on Judgment Day, when we meet Him, we have to answer for everything we've done in our lives, and I mean everything, every thought, every action, everything you've done in your life, good and bad, is looked at with scrutiny, and you need to know what you're going to say, or have an idea of what you're going to say when you're judged, because it's important that you're honest about everything, even when it's hard to accept, because God knows everything you've done anyway. So there's no point lying. You might as well be honest about it and say, yes, I understand that I have done wrong in my life and that I have sinned and I've done bad things and I am sorry. You at that point want to be forgiven. Let's say you're a non-believer and you spend all your life saying God's not real and you know all that, and then Judgment Day happens and you see that He is real. Just think about it. You don't believe in God, right? There's lots of people that don't. They're called atheists. Okay, and I'm not skeptical to them. It's whatever, you know. Some people are not brought up religious. I was, and some people find religion later on in their lives. You never know. It can happen. I mean, it's happened to my friend. He wasn't religious at all, and then I found out he was going to church and started believing it. So it can happen. But ultimately, people that weren't born with religion, Christianity, whatever it is, Buddhism, Judaism, Muslim, whatever it is, believing in something is better than nothing. I mean, we believe as Catholics where religion is true, the just one. But I suppose if I was born a Muslim, a Jew, or a monk, or whatever, I would say the same thing. I would be like, but my religion is the right one. So it depends. I mean, they say there's roughly 2 billion Catholics in the world, roughly. That's the biggest group of worshippers, I think, for any religion in the world. And when you consider the last time they did a census, there's 8 billion people on the planet. That's like a third of people in the world. And that's quite impressive when you think about it. But anyway, like I said, Jesus forgives, but in order for us to receive forgiveness, we need to forgive others. Because He's saying, if I can forgive you, you need to forgive other people. If someone's let you down in your life, someone's upset you, anything like that, you need to know, you need to be able to say to yourself, I forgive them because God forgives me. And that way you're paying it back because you're doing it back to them. You might think they don't deserve to be forgiven. You might think that they're assholes and they don't deserve it. However, that's what you're meant to do. God is patient. Jesus is patient. He put up with lots of stuff. He was abused when He was crucified. Had to wear thorns on His head. He was whipped. He had to walk all the way up that hill with a big cross. I mean, it must have made an absolute ton. And walk up where he fell 3 times. Didn't he got someone to pick it up for him? Not out of kindness, because they just wanted to get him up there and get on with it. And he kept falling off it. So they said, you pick this cross up and help him. And he did. Because obviously you're not going to say no, are you? Back then they probably would have killed him as well if he refusing to help. So, and then he went into the desert and he was tempted by the devil and all that. He put up with a lot of hardship. So whenever you think your life is hard, and difficult. It can't be worse than his, because he was Son of God, right? He could have made it a lot easier for himself anytime he wanted. He could have just said, I'm going to live the life of a king instead of a pauper. But he didn't. He lived a normal life. He lived humbly. He was a carpenter, and he made friends. He made up friends with all his disciples. He taught them. He was a rabbi, taught them the Judaism, because Jesus was a Jew. And he told them about forgiveness. He says it's important that you forgive people for the trespasses, because you will want forgiveness from me or from God one day. And if you can't forgive other people for anything, and then when it comes down to it, you're saying sorry, God will say, well, how is it that you want my forgiveness but you don't forgive other people? What's all that about? And that's when you realise, I should have forgiven them. But when you say you forgive someone, you need to mean it. Right? You're not just saying it. When you forgive someone, you fully forgive them. You're not angry at them anymore. Right? You could say, oh, I forgive X for this. But let's say you're still angry at X, but you say you forgive him. You're not really forgiving him because you're still angry. You need to let that anger go. You need to let it go. And I know it's really difficult, but if you truly forgive someone for something, that's what you've got to do. You've got to let that anger go. And it is difficult. And that's what God does every single time you ask for forgiveness. He doesn't get angry. And when he says he forgives you fully. No anger, no nothing. Just happy that you've apologised and that you realise what you've done is wrong, and you've said, I've messed up here. I'm sorry, and I mean it, and I won't do it again. That's what you've got to do. And then you've got to remember that favour that God gave you. That, because you've forgiven, he expects you to go out and forgive others. And like I say, it's like saying you're sorry. Saying you're sorry is not good enough. You know what I mean? You've got to mean it, and you've got to prove it. And it's the same when you forgive people. It's just easiest for me to say, I forgive X for this, but do I really forgive X? Or am I just saying it? Am I still angry at X? Am I still disappointed with X? Because if I am, and I say forgive it, really, I'm not, because I'm still angry. I'm still angry. So really, I haven't forgiven them. So it's about letting that anger go and just saying, they messed up, I've messed up as well, I've been forgiven, I'm doing the same back for them, I'm doing what Jesus taught us to do, and that is to let them repent if they want to say sorry, or even if you don't say sorry, you still forgive them, because I don't want that person dying with that sin. So I forgive anywhere, even if they don't apologise, and I hope one day they can forgive me for what I've done to them. But you can't force it. What's done in the past is done. We can only move forward with our lives and try and live a better life as possible and not make the same mistakes again. That way we're showing that we're not repeating the same mistakes over and over again. Because otherwise we're not learning from it. We're not learning from it. We say sorry. Right, you can go to confession and say you're sorry for something, and then priest says, okay, you're forgiven. It seems really easy, doesn't it? And you do penance, you light a candle, you say some Hail Marys and Our Fathers, and off you go, you're forgiven. But to me, you've got to do more than that. You've got to actually mean it, and you've got to show that with action, not words. Saying sorry is the start, but it's not the end of it. Your actions afterwards, after saying sorry, is what matters. Showing them I did wrong, and I'm making up for, I'm trying my best to do better. And that's all we can do. What's happened's happened. We have to live with it. But what we do from now until the day we die, that's up to us still. We're still in control of that. So if there's anyone out there that watches this and know they've done something wrong, whatever it is, if it's serious or if it's a minor thing, whatever, know that you always have a chance with God. It's never too late until you die. So up until the last minute of your life, you can still say you're sorry and you can be forgiven. So don't give up hope. And if you need help with anger, anxiety, stress, there's people out there you can reach to, professionals that can help you out. And I think it's important that we do, because that will help your mental health as well. And I found that going back to church has helped me out a lot. And hopefully you guys, even if you don't go to church, and you can take something out of this still by learning to forgive and learning to let things go. You'll feel better in the long run, and you won't be bitter, you won't be angry. It takes work, it takes effort, but trust me, once you let that anger go, whether you believe in God or not, once you let that anger go, then it's like dropping a lot of weight off your chest, and you don't have to carry it around with you anymore. It makes yourself feel better, and then you can move on with your life. Okay, that person screwed me over, but guess what? I'm going to forgive him anyway. I'm sick of being angry about it, sick of living in the past. I'm moving forward with my life. I forgive him, and now I can be happy. Try it, and I promise you'll feel better for it. Whatever it might be, whether you're apologising for something or forgiving someone for something, whether it's serious or whether it's a minor thing. But there's a question that I want to leave you with if anyone watches this. I made the last video, no one watched it. But if you do, is there a thing out there that cannot be forgiven? Think about it. Is there something that people can do to you or to other people you care about? And obviously, a lot of people are going to say yes to that. That is completely unforgivable, even with God. Even with God. Something that even God can't forgive. Is there a limit? If there is, what is that limit? And why? I mean, if you're truly sorry and you show it, I believe that you can forgive for the most serious of things. But that's just my opinion. Obviously, I'm a religious person. Not everyone's going to be religious. Obviously, everyone's got their own opinions and everything. I'd just like to know, is there anything out there? And I'm guessing I know already what the answer is going to be. Murder, sexual abuse, that sort of thing. Molestation, child pornography, sexual abuse to children. All that, yeah. You could say, well, that can't be forgiven. And what about the Holocaust? The Nazis. I watched a movie called The Bunker, and it showed Hitler's last days where he had to live in a bunker for 105 days and eventually killed himself and his family. Can God forgive Hitler? Can God forgive Saddam Hussein? Can God forgive Bin Laden? There's all that. But do you have a limit personally what you can and cannot forgive? Let me know. If you watch this and you find this interesting, let me know. And if no one watches it, fair enough. I'm just going to keep it for my own records. So with that, I'll leave you. And just think about it. If you do watch it and you want to make a comment, feel free to do so. Anyway, peace be with you all. God be with you. And take care and live well and happy. And try and forgive people. Bye bye.